Today, let's take a look at a mysterious corner of the planet where strange things can be seen here and there. Africa is a continent where every stone and every leaf literally screams about its uniqueness. Here, reality plays by its own rules. Nature strikes with shapes, and animals and plants seem to have descended from the pages of myths. What can we say about the incredible finds and ancient relics? If you're ready to discover this world in a new way, then let's take a look together at the strangest and most extraordinary things that actually exist exclusively in Africa. So, do not switch the channel. There is a place in Mauritius that looks like the rainbow is tired and decided to lay down there and rest. These 7-colored lands are not just a beautiful picture from Instagram, but a real natural phenomenon. Can you imagine that the red, brown, purple, green, blue, yellow, and orange layers of the Earth refuse to mix with the others? All thanks to volcanic ash that decided to play such an interesting game millions of years ago. Yes, if you mix the sands, they will still separate like playful kids. It's amazing and at the same time very strange. Isn't that right, friends? Can you believe that pythons are worshipped as gods somewhere? Welcome to Benin, where the python is not just a snake, but a sacred creature. In the city of Ouida, the heart of voodoo culture, there is a temple where pythons are not only respected, but also live like kings. Residents of the city consider these Mayas to be protectors and a kind of symbol of wisdom. They even practice a reptile hugging ceremony to attract good luck and protection. Here's an interesting fact. If a python accidentally wanders into your house, it is considered a blessing. But do not rush to expel it. It is customary to take such a guest back to the temple with honors, at least so as to not disrupt luck, and at most so as to not offend the local deity. Closed in 1988 after 5 decades of operation, the coal-fired power plant received a new lease of life when its main building collapsed in 2014, but 2 cooling towers remain standing. The towers have not only survived the times, but have also been reinterpreted as a symbol of the cultural renaissance of the community, which is emphasized by their new bright coloring. Now they serve not only as a visual decoration, but also as a breathtaking attraction. After all, brave souls can jump from a bungee from a height of 91 meters. Does it look extreme enough? That's not the right word. To make a leap into the unknown, it is proposed to initially walk over a narrow bridge that connects 2 towers, which is also not for the faint-hearted people. In the heart of Africa, in the forests of the Congo, one of the most mysterious secrets of nature is hidden. These are giant chimpanzees known as billy apes. They are unique primates, similar in size to gorillas, but at the same time retain the features of chimpanzees. Scientists are still arguing about where such giants came from. There are legends among the locals that billy apes are able to hunt leopards and even lions, which makes them not just a large version of ordinary chimpanzees, but also one of the most powerful predators of the forests. But despite their strength and considerable size, they are surprisingly secretive and peaceful towards people. The Dalal volcano in Ethiopia is truly one of the most wonderful and creepy places on the planet. Imagine a landscape that looks more like the surface of another planet than the Earth. There is nothing ordinary here. From yellow sulfur deposits to green acid pools, from bright orange iron oxides to white salt plateaus. Moreover, the Dalal volcano is not only one of the hottest places on the planet, but also one of the least hospitable, where the temperature rarely drops below 40 degrees Celsius. But it is its extreme conditions that make this place truly unique. Every element here is fighting for its place under the sun, creating unique and stunning shapes. In Kenya, where nature sings its outlandish songs, there is a place worth visiting at least once in your life. Of course, this is the Bird's Nest. This is a hotel that was invented by someone very creative or perhaps inspired by cartoons. What do you think would surprise you more? The fact that you wake up among the bird trills and meet the dawn at the level of the treetops, or the fact that your neighbor in the nest is a yawning giraffe? Here at the Bird's Nest, every morning begins not with coffee, but with an incredible view of the endless savanna. Would you like to visit it yourself? Here is another miracle of Africa, which most likely will not be found anywhere else in the world. The ancient Dendrocynnesio Kilimanjaro are giants of the plant world that stand incredibly majestically on the slopes of Kilimanjaro. They look as if they came from the prehistoric world. They are tall with long, thin stems and fluffy tops. They can reach several meters in height and live for decades, but what makes them unique? It's the ability to survive in the extreme conditions of the highlands, where cold, wind, and scarce resources would force any other plant to give up. It is not surprising that Dendrocynnesio Kilimanjaro has become a kind of symbol of endurance and perseverance. Imagine a place where the earth is covered not with sand but with snow-white stones, as if someone scattered giant cotton balls across the desert. Welcome to the White Desert. This place looks like a backstage to a science fiction movie. The snow-white limestone formations created by wind and time resemble either icy mountains or flocks of sleeping animals. Here's an interesting fact. When the sun sets, these snow-white stones begin to play with all shades of orange and pink, creating the illusion of a sea and fire. It is not surprising that it attracts artists, photographers, and travelers who want to enjoy its unique landscape. The Vfor Crater, located in South Africa, is not just a crater, it is a real archaeological atlas and the largest impact crater on Earth. Its age is amazing. It is about 2 billion years old. Can you just imagine? This marks the time when earthly life was only in its infancy. In fact, it is here, in the embrace of ancient rocks and fossils, that one can see how cosmic events shaped our planet. So are you still looking for adventures with deep meaning? Then Vfor will reveal to you how space affects our geological history right here on Earth. Namibia has its own version of the mysteries of the ancient world, only instead of pyramids, there are circles in the sand. They are called the mysterious circles of the desert, and in truth, they behave as if they absolutely do not want anything to grow next to them. They are not really on the ground, as if someone used a huge drawing device. Neither a blade of grass nor a bush dared to cross their boundaries. Scientists are still guessing what kind of phenomenon this is, the work of some termites or the mysterious chemistry of the soil. In general, the histories of these circles range from tens to hundreds of years, and each new circle only adds questions. At first glance, it seems that you have a huge mirror in front of you, but it's just the water of Lake Naron, saturated with soda and salt, which reflects the sky so brightly that you can get lost in the reflections. But don't rush to dive into it. The water in the lake can reach 60 degrees Celsius and has a pH comparable to ammonia. Only the most seasoned creatures live here. For example, unique species of algae and small pink flamingos. In addition, the shores of the lake are dotted with statuettes of animals that have become victims of its dangerous waters. These are their mummified bodies, petrified by the action of chemically active water. Lake Naron really looks like the scenery for a horror movie, only everything is real here. The Blue Death Hole in Dahab is not just a beautiful place for diving, but a real legend among dives. In front of you is a vertical cave underwater which goes 120 meters deep, like a portal to another world. It looks like an ordinary lake from the outside, but only until you plunge under the water. History knows many stories about those who tried to master its secrets, but not all returned to tell about them personally. The Blue Hole does not forgive mistakes, but this is what makes it an attractive test for extreme sports fans. By the way, experienced divers say that here, in the silence of the depths, you can only hear your breathing and feel slight goosebumps of excitement from realizing your vulnerability in the face of nature. Age matters, especially when it comes to the Adams calendar in South Africa, the oldest stone calendar known to mankind. Starting back in the Stone Age, this astronomical instrument served to track the solar and lunar cycles, giving our ancestors the opportunity to synchronize with the rhythms of nature. Its age, according to some estimates, reaches 75,000 years, which makes it older than Stonehenge and even the pyramids of Giza. Researchers suggest that ancient civilizations used it for not only practical needs, but also for ritual purposes, perhaps marking their connections with the cosmos and the stars through it. But who knows what really happened? Meet Lawdale Diamonds. These are hexagonal diamonds that not only shine, but also give a head start to ordinary diamonds in hardness. Such space rocks are born from the chaos of meteorite collisions with our Earth and represent one of the rarest gifts from space. They are found in Africa, where nature already likes to surprise with extravagance. Jewelers and collectors hunt for them not only because of their extraordinary beauty and super hardness, but also for their exotic mystery. So if you come across such a hexagonal diamond, just know that it is not just a jewel, but a small piece of mystery that landed safely on African soil. Somewhere in the depths of Africa, there is a cursed monolith, a stone that, according to rumors, does not like company. This colossus, like a sinister garden of antiquity, is shrouded in mystical stories and is considered not just a stone, but a real keeper of curses. Locals are sure that the slightest touch or even too close approach to it can turn into a range of misfortunes. Scientists trying to solve this mystery often return with empty hands and notebooks full of strange stories, which only fuels the fire of legends. But to be honest, perhaps it's for the best, because not every secret is worth revealing, especially if it's protected by a curse. Now take a look at the Mauritius underwater waterfalls. These are the real masters of camouflage in the world of natural phenomena. How do you like the idea of a waterfall that doesn't exactly fall anywhere? That's exactly the case with this place. Due to the unique depth difference and the play of sand colors, it seems that the oceans are performing some kind of acrobatic act, splashing down an invisible slope. In fact, the sand simply moves from shallow water to deep water, drawing spectacular streams on the bottom. If it seems to you that natural paints are running out, then you need to remember that Mauritius still has some reserves. The whalehead is a bird that seems to have jumped out of a book of strange creatures. With a head like a marine inhabitant, this African bird occupies a special place in the pantheon of natural curiosities. It not only swims and fishes with such a unique beak, which serves as a water trap for it, but also communicates with its relatives through a whole range of sounds, from squeaks to hums, which makes it a real virtuoso of lake concerts. There won't be enough words to explain how this representative of the fauna behaves during the mating season, so the title of the most eccentric bird in Africa is definitely for the whalehead. This is not a scene from a horror movie, but a real place where nature shows it's not the best character trait. In the heart of the Namib Desert, ancient trees are hidden, standing among the whitish sand, creating a spectacle that seems impossible. In fact, they have been dead for over 900 years, but due to the extremely dry climate, the trees have not even decomposed and stand as monuments of time. I wonder if you think that nature is the best director who creates such unusual and strange scenery. For some reason, I'm absolutely sure that you've already heard at least something about such powerful giant trees of Africa as baobabs. Do you know that they live up to 5,000 years? Such ancient colossi are not only surprised by their size, but also serve as a living reservoir of water, storing up to 120,000 liters in thick trunks. It's incredible, isn't it? Locals call the baobab the tree of life, and this is not an exaggeration. In addition to water, baobabs produce fruits rich in vitamin C and fiber for the production of rope and clothing. Who would have thought that the smallest creature could bear the name of one of the most majestic animals? This is the elephant shrew, a tiny wonder of Greater Africa, whose name comes from an unusually long nose resembling the trunk of an elephant. This miniature animal, weighing about only 50 grams, is a living example of how nature knows how to surprise. Elephant shrews use their trunks to snatch insects, and their tiny size allows them to move easily along dense green grass. How about swimming in a scarlet cocktail? Lake Retba in Senegal, better known as Pink Lake, looks like a sommelier's dream, but drinking its contents is by no means recommended. This reservoir has received an unusual color due to the friendly work of microorganisms that love salt baths no less than people who love spas. Due to the high salinity of the lake, you can easily lie on its surface, reading a book or looking at the clouds without fear of drowning. Who knows, maybe that's what the waters of paradise look like. You can be absolutely sure that somewhere under the African lands there are hidden not just stones, but real pieces of the sky. Lapis Lazuli with a unique blue hue. These jewels, which are thousands of years old, breathe history and mysteries. They contain oxygen, as if each stone stores a particle of ancient air. Maybe they decorated majestic pharaohs or wise priests. I'm sure that they saw the same sun as you and me. To begin with, many mistakenly think that the creations of ancient civilizations can only be seen in Egypt. But what about the great ruins of Zimbabwe? Forgotten by the waves of history, these massive stone structures, which were once the center of the powerful kingdom of Zimbabwe, conceal the mysteries of ancient times. Think about it. These walls have seen merchants from distant lands and heard the whispers of intrigue and the sounds of ancient rituals. All this in Africa. By the way, do you know that the name Zimbabwe comes from the Shona language, meaning great stone houses? I'm sure that this is not news for fans of unusual adventures. Now it's time to meet one of the most unusual and mysterious inhabitants of the jungles of Africa. This is Okapi. This creature is so unique that many do not even believe in its existence until they see it with their own eyes. Why is it like that? Yes, just in fact, the Okapi is a kind of mixture of giraffe and zebra. Yes, the animal has a long neck and striped legs. Okapi lives in the depths of the rainforests of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. These secretive animals are so rarely seen that for a long time they were generally considered a myth. It is also interesting that they are critically important for the forest ecosystem as they help disperse plant seeds. This is a real miracle of nature. Have you noticed that the most mysterious places on Earth are often hidden not on the pages of fantasy novels, but right in front of our eyes? Take, for example, the stone forest of Madagascar, Scurvy de Bemaraha. This is a place where nature decided to become an architect. It created not just a forest of stones, but a real maze of razor-sharp rocks. Locals say that here you feel like in a parallel reality where every step can open a new, unexplored chapter. In addition, one can witness rare species of plants and animals that have learned to survive in such harsh conditions. In 2014, deep in the African Tembe Elephant Park, a discovery was made that shook the world of science. The Finda button spider is a new kind of spider. It can offer no less drama than any star in a thriller. Its bright red markings, like warning signs, emphasized its direct belonging to the family of black widows, famous for their deadly poison. As a result, the spider has become a kind of symbol of beauty and incredible danger, which are combined in one small, living creature. Away from the hustle and bustle of the city, the life of indigenous African warrior women flows among ancient rituals and nature. Repressed but not broken, they cherish traditions like secret treasures and teach us perseverance and fortitude, showing that true beauty and pride know no boundaries.
Don't forget to share the most impressive moment of this episode in the comments below. See you soon.